You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal brand.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The highest stakes race of the year for the 2026 Integrity Racing League is here, now, and tonight. It's about time again for the field to go racing at one of the most storied circuits in the United States, and it's a different look this year for the Tuesday Night Tour, but the same familiar group of drivers are ready to bring it on. It's about time for the 2026 running of the Jurassic Auto Supply 250, brought to you by the Integrity Racing League. Live on FTN Broadcasting from Daytona Beach, Florida. I'll be your host for tonight's event. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing. This is set to be a thriller. On the top of the board, we got familiar faces at the front of our field. Remember, Ethan Lane and Tom Wetmore took victories in their duels, and as a result, they'll be the men at the head of the field when we go racing tonight. The lineup is set with 40 drivers racing, and it is a packed field now lining up. Let's talk exactly about who we have on the table tonight. Your starting grid is assembled downstairs, but before we head there, here's a good look. On the inside of row number 1, he won his duel last week. That's Ethan Lane. He's right there at the top of the board, and alongside him tonight, well, you'll see Nicholas Ward is lined up in second. However, don't believe that's the final lineup. Second place was Tom Wetmore in the duels, so I figure now we're going to see some drivers making some changes as the lineup goes down. Getting final confirmation as the rest of the field is put in order. You see Eric McFarland there in third, Brad Patton in fourth, Grant McClendon fifth, and tentatively Nick Tarbuck is in P6. As they run, this is the starting lineup, but I'm looking down to see if there are any issues made. Again, Wetmore winning his duel, but it looks like you're not going to be seeing him at the front right now. Further on down the lineup, you'll see 7th place. That will be David Davis with Alex Kim lined up in P8. Nate Campbell is tentatively alongside Cody Smith. Josh Gallagher and Zach Schrintenal are 11th and 12th. As we take a look down now, everyone getting assembled, and if any position changes are to be made, you'll see them on your screen. Matthew Cornell is going to fall to 13th with Richard Smith 14th place. DJ Stadler in 15th. Sean Kalis in the 16th position. Joe Yates is now 17th. Aaron Kovnat 18th with Thomas Lynn P19. And Trevor Trago set in 20th as they run. Don Stevenson 21st. Jacob Fife 22nd. Troy Green 23rd. And Aaron Eaves 24th with Kevin Matz, Sam Nieto, Eli Cars, Andrew Hamilton, Kent Wetherell, and Ryan Bean wrapping up the top 30. Final drivers see Matt Jonas, Tom Howe, John DeBarro, Bobby Keith, Alan Rawell for 35th, and lastly, Chris Schetzler, Randy Fiash, John Steele, Robert Richardson, and a new man on the field tonight, Ryan Potter. The only driver who didn't make his duel, who is racing today, is Potter in the 99 Swamp Motorsports. 2 drivers, and it looks like a notable absence in Tom Wetmore, so that will bump Nicholas Ward up to second on the starting lineup. The rest of your 40-car field is intact. Out is Wetmore. In is, at the back of the field, Ryan Potter, and everyone else ready to take it on as they did last February. Your defending champion and the all-time winningest driver in the modern era with more than 25 already is set to lead them off, and he's on the inside of the Tri-Oval. The World Center of Racing brings the Integrity Racing League back to life for 2026. We are green from Daytona. Lane, Ward, the 1-2 as we go at it for 250 miles under the sunshine in Daytona Beach. Coming across for lap 1, Ethan Lane is your leader. However, he got that one on the outside line. He moves up ahead of Ward by 13 thousandths of a second. Still got some Roadhouse Racing blood at the front of the field. The 33 of Eric McFarland. And now it looks like Brad Patton and the Wanted Goons crew is getting up there to P2. Nick Tarbuck, Cody Smith, not too far behind. Both aces at this circuit in their own right. It was, in fact, 2024. Nick Tarbuck won at this track. In 2023, it was Cody Smith. So, both of them, phenomenal drivers. Good ones to look out for if you're making picks tonight. They have that previous winning experience, something that not a lot of drivers bring to the table. And in particular, Cody Smith did it with the Next Gens. Nick Tarbuck did not, as he leads right now. He's the only Octane Series Daytona winner who did it with the Gen 4s. So a rare statistic for the number 4, but that won't end up playing in his favor. I don't think it'll be to his disadvantage either, but something to note as these former race winners are already getting up there. 3 laps out of 100. We got a lot of time on the table, so let's talk about what's about to go down here in Daytona Beach. For starters, track conditions are very, very mild. Ambient condition is coming in at 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temperature, not all too much warmer right now. Moderate usage on the track. That shouldn't mean all too much. These drivers shouldn't have to worry about tire all day long. These are quick machines going north of 190 miles an hour, but not fast enough for tires to be the big deal. Weather, of course, the big thing of it all. 70 degrees Fahrenheit is going to be the ballpark for the later portion of the race. Sun slowly starting to set. It's currently 3:21 in sim time, and if we keep on racing with the settings we have right now, I see a few hours of sunset come and go. A little bit more time until we get there, yes, but for the time being, it is sunny skies. No fast repairs will be given out. 5 tire sets, meaning 4 extras for drivers who, of course, go down to pit road and the one they start on. Cody Smith to the point now. He's ahead of Joe Yakes, who's gotten up to second. Cody Smith, of course, is now the man of the hour in control. Outside goes Nicholas Ward. Ward gets ahead of Ethan Lane in the 84. Watch out for him. Biggest mover so far is up 15 places. That is Joe Yakes. Watching out for our one non-dual driver, Ryan Potter. He's gone up 5 spots to get to 35th. He's got a lot of time left for him to make those improvements, though, so keep it in mind as his teammate is up in the leading frame. DJ Stagner, by and large, one of the best super speedway racers on the platform. He's got a unique gift for it, and you'll see right now the field is already starting to spread away. All the way down to the 30th position, and you'll see that's going to be Bobby Keith leading this final pack of guys. All the way down to Kent Wetherell here, who is alone. Robert Richardson in the 5 and a 2-car tandem with Eli Cars. We'll be focusing most of our energy on the top 30 tonight, so keep in mind for intermittent updates on the bottom 10. Right now, no matter what the timing ticker says, everyone is racing, everyone's on the lead lap. We'll have some intermittent updates, of course, as the night goes on, as we focus our eyes back on the leaders here. It's going to be Ethan Lane, who's gotten ahead with a shove from Stagner. Ethan going up high, getting a little bit more help now for the 64 to block down low, and very confidently, Ethan is deciding to block both lanes. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how the field feels about that. Always a risky move to pull out. Seeing it pulled out rather quickly and rather early, as a matter of fact, here in the opening running. 7 laps in to the more than an hour expected of racing here at the Daytona International Speedway. Usually this race runs us about 120 minutes, but it could go longer than 100 laps as well. Keep it in mind, green, white, checkered attempts. We have 3 of them available to us. If, of course, we get to that point, it would be after lap 95. So any cautions until that point will not send us to an overtime. Anything in the final 5 laps, it has the potential to do so. So watch out for that. Ethan Lane back in control here. And he's in a comfortable position, holding his footing very well as he's got the inside again. Cody Smith and DJ Stagner, both, and without a doubt, they are drivers to trust at a track like this. Tom Wetmore is the only defending winner of the modern era, or rather, winner at Daytona, period. Not to mention that he's a defending winner here, not to be racing tonight. Cody Smith and Nick Tarbuck, they've won in the previous 2 years from 2025, and they're both on the circuit tonight. Lane, or whoever else in the field, they're looking to etch their name in as the 2026 winner. Smith's claim to fame over the last decade of racing is the 2022 championship he won back when this league was last a unified series. That was 2022. For the first time since that point, the Integrity Racing League is one series, hosted on Tuesday nights. If you've been watching with us on FTN for a while, well, you would know, simply put, that this is usually a two-night affair. You have the Monday night Integrity Ignite series, and you have the Tuesday night Integrity Octane series. We have seen a consolation or consolidation, and that's going to give us only one race per week. But what it does allow us to do is give us the full field of action, and we're expecting to bring some more racing to the screens on FTN very soon. So if you're missing your Monday night racing fix, we will have you covered from the month of March onward. Nothing to be worried about, of course, if you're a fan of the channel. And for the Integrity Racing League, nothing to be worried about when it comes to them as well. The Integrity Racing League, doing sim racing right since 2012, is now on to their 14th consecutive year of operation. I mean, it's a unbelievable testament to the consistency of the admin group. And I know we have our league owner, Jacob Fife, still running things. The 36 is on the track right now. He's running in the 20th position, so right at the midpoint of the field. He's got himself a good view on the front half, of course, making things happen at the top of the board. And what's going on out back? He's got an escape plan if he needs it. Up 15 places, DJ Stagner. Perhaps now the biggest mover of them all is the number 2 of Sam Nieto, though. Sam up 20 in the number 2. And Sam Nieto has jumped from outside the top 25 into the leading conversation. Nieto, watch out for him. He's already putting up some big strides in the first race of this season. Multi-year veteran, playoff contender on a yearly basis, always a driver who's got the fire late in the going. Big points night tonight could be for a lot of guys. So we also reformatted the playoffs of the Integrity Racing League. You're probably aware of the chase format that we are seeing in the NASCAR Cup Series. Well, we're going to model the playoffs closer to that. It's going to be one big reset, which comes on the 25th of August at Darlington, and a 7-race playoff run. We're going to do away with the multi-stage bracketing playoffs, and instead, it's going to be one final fight to the checkered. So consistency is rewarded for the beginning of the season, and it's also rewarded at the end. You really cannot take weeks off in a row. You've got to be in the fight from beginning to end of the campaign, and that consistency is the message being sent to all drivers. 12 laps in, we haven't even mentioned what's going on with the pack here, and the inside is already dominant, strength in numbers. Outside, few and far between. Rookie of the race right now is going to be Thomas Lind, 19th up to 5th, not too far behind him. Aaron Kovnat in the 91, the first time Kalof Deitch Racing is getting a chance to go at it here in Integrity competition. So a long-awaited debut for KDR. They're taking a chance, and they're finally getting their feet wet in what is, of course, a very exciting endeavor for them. Kalof Deitch Racing might be sending more drivers in. Aaron Kovnat is the first of which, as he now goes up into the top 10. You'll see Eric McFarland switch out there. Coming up on Kent Wetherell, who's now 40th and last. He missed the draft to start the race, now finds himself all the way at the back of the field, and his only hope now is to find himself trailing off to the tail end. First driver one down, rest of the field still not in jeopardy of going so. Eli Kars and Robert Richardson are half a lap down. We would expect to catch them at around the lap 35, lap 40 marker, the way things are going. Here's something to look out for as well, the fuel game. just a few nights ago, Daytona 500, we had a ridiculous fuel run put into place, and it was Michael McDowell in the 71 who went for the better part of 165 miles under green without going down a pit road. For reference, 165 miles at Daytona is a total of 66 laps. That is a very, very long stint. Now, keep in mind, that was maximum fuel saving and perhaps the perfect amount of fuel saving. I haven't heard of a run very similar to that. The only other that comes to mind was Justin Haley last summer, who was able to go north of 150. But what we were expecting out of drivers tonight is to see at the very most about 40 to 45 laps under green before going down to pit road. The ideal strategy in a race like this is the two-stopper. 40 laps on that first stint, come down and in. 40 laps on the next stint, come down and in. And then finish off whatever remains. That could be impacted or interrupted by cautions, but the 40-40-20 method is very safe as long as drivers loosely plan around it. If they don't, you don't know what's going to happen. A caution could again throw the wrench in the equation, but generally speaking, if we go green, splitting the race into 40-lap stints to start, leaving the rest on the end is what a lot of drivers do and do it successfully. Nicholas Ward and Ethan Lane, the starting two for tonight's race. Ward promoted to second due to the absence of Tom Wetmore tonight. Finds himself right up there in a competitive battle. DJ Stagner looking to join the joust himself. He's got behind him Thomas Lind. First time we've seen the 0-5 in full-time competition since Alan Dobbs in 2023 and the better part of 24. He's a rookie, though, no affiliation in that all-white 0-5, and for the first time, he's facing a sour treatment. 3 wide, and he's up high and alone. First time we've seen 3 wide all night long. Taking us nearly a fifth of the race to see it. Already being turned the cold shoulder, and so now coming down to the inside. There goes Thomas Lind. He gets right behind the rookie in Cobnott. Brad Patton, bold, the block on Stagner here. And a few more teams coming to play tonight. The Integrity Octane Series wasn't really big on teams last year. Definitely the Ignite Series was. You had JTM Motorsport. You also had the Swamp, which was a big multi-car team. Not to mention, you also had groups including Wanted Goons making some one-off runs. But we see a few teams in the mix right now at the head of the pack. Of course, watch out for Roadhouse Racing. Their big driver to look out for tonight. If not, of course, the 33, well, you got to see where Blake Cannon is at throughout the season. Tentatively speaking, you might have noticed another big absence as it looks like Cannon is not on the circuit right now, but Eric McFarland, one to watch out for. Also looking at it, Wanted Goons is a 2-car team again. Brad Patton, and not only him, but also Trevor Trago. Trago right now is not in that upfront conversation, but something to keep in mind. Right now, Trago having some internet issues, 4 laps down, and is the only driver multiple laps down. So it looks like maybe for Brad, as he skates out to the outside there, he's going to have some more issues than expected. His teammate now out of this one, and it looks like out of his control. Patton drops back alongside the 45 and Nate Campbell. Campbell, a rookie last season, one of the best to do it of that rookie class. Number 45 definitely turned heads overall and ended up third in the championship behind Sam Nieto for second by just 1 point. A winless campaign, but nevertheless the second best of any driver in the field. Almost it was. Nevertheless, Sam Nieto, bested by the defending champion Lane. So far, Ethan Lane has shown his prowess even in the superspeedway setting. Not often does a driver dominate at Daytona. Well, it looks like right now Ethan Lane may be looking to be the driver who changes that, at least for this one night. He ducks low, and he's going to leave DJ Stagner out with his own lane on the outside. There's the number 73. Full-time man this year, Alex Kim, and he now finds himself toe-to-toe in that front battle as well. Rookie of the Year drivers this season. Let's talk about who is eligible, because that's been a big conversation. DJ Stagner, Aaron Kovnat, Matt Cornell, Andrew Hamilton, David Davis, Tommy Lind, Troy Green, Robert Richardson, and Tom Howe. So you might have noticed that Kim, not a driver mentioned in that lineup. The reason being, well, we forgot him. Well, Alex Kim is the last of them. There you go. Alex Kim is going to be officially eligible as a rookie. He's a driver that does have experience in previous seasons, particularly last season. He's going to be along those in the rookie class. However, he does have some starts. So does Hamilton. Hamilton has some Monday night starts. Alex Kim, fewer than 10 in the modern era in the Tuesday night tour. He just got ahead of another rookie there, and Aaron Kovnat. Aaron has tonight spotting for him Henry Cadillac, team owner. He just popped into the session as soon as Trevor Trago left, and Trago now rejoining us. So hopefully we'll see that 40th driver, the driver tonight of the number 37, back on track. He's 7 laps down as is, and getting a status update on Trevor Trago. No dice right now. He's still not with us. Trying to get himself back up there, but it's going to be a hard fight. Trevor Trago going to need a miracle, but if not that, at the very least, he still has a teammate in Patton who is contending. Brad is now down to 15th. After that wobble he took on the outside, he had to wait, and he's finally found a slot back in. Good that he's found one. And now, about a quarter of the way through, he sits closer to the midpoint. He has most of the night. Jacob Fife is still right on that halfway point. He's dropped down just a position to 21st. He qualified 22nd, the highest we've seen him in his 20th today. So Jacob Fife has been rather content, I'd say, in just biding his time and letting the race run around him. Currently, he finds himself 2 seconds off your leader. Not a bad distance. He can make that up pretty quick if there's something that happens up in front. But at the same time, I don't think he feels that urge to do so. Let's take a ride on board right now with Fife and see what it's like inside the cockpit. Taking a lap around with Fife here, and you'll see it's calm and it's collected. Feathering the throttle just a bit. I don't see him having any reason to really push it too hard either. And so, with that lap aboard, you'll see things at Daytona are pretty much business as usual. I think that's the way it's going to stay until that pit stop cycle comes into the minds of drivers. They have, at the very least, 15 laps until that point. At the very most, they got about 20 to 25 laps. We'll see how they want to play it. Right now, as a field, we haven't seen any consensus decisions made. Eric McFarlane has gotten ahead of Ethan Lane, and now with a very strung out inside line, it is Sam Nieto in control. One to the outside is a fledgling DJ Stagner. DJ now finding himself way out of touch the rest of the pack. Quarter of the way through, and it looks like now he's side by side with Josh Gallagher, just trying to find room to slide in the top 15. Next closest wide open gap is for 20th. I don't think DJ wants to settle for it. It is every driver on the inside now, and it looks like every one of these guys has subscribed to the theory that these first few laps, the first half and maybe more, maybe they don't matter all too much. And I wouldn't be against saying that, mainly because, when you think about it, lap 100 is a long, long time away. We're 26 laps in. That leaves us with 75 laps to go. The next 50 laps, by and large, are going to make absolutely no difference on who wins and who ends up further way back really, what you're seeing right now, I don't want to say it's glorified pacing, but it's setting the stage. And it takes a long time to set the stage at Daytona. Hence, now you're seeing some drivers go double file, starting to see a bigger rally, led now by Aaron Kovnat, it appears. Aaron will take the opening, and he will bring a few more drivers with him. Who's immediately behind him? Looks like it's going to be the number 12. No, the 24. The 12 just got passed by the 24 of Andrew Hamilton. That gives Brant McClendon a little bit more buffer room, so you'll have two leaders, two rookies on the outside leading that line. Then from there, Nate Campbell, DJ Stagner, who was also a rookie on the season, and they'll all be fighting amongst each other. So, rookies, it's going to be a 10-to-1 point basis. We have 10 who are eligible. The highest position rookie will end up winning 10 points against the other rookies. Then the lowest will score only 1, and the rest in between fill in the blank. So it's not just about the full points race, but it's also rookies racing each other. So far, in that rookie class, looks like Aaron Kovnat holds control. Aaron is now up to 4th overall as he's gotten by Alex Kim, who led just a few laps ago, and now 4th last time by will drop to about 9th. Coming across the stripe, inside line and outside, near even for the first time in nearly 10 laps. That's going to be Ethan Lane blocking big on Aaron Kovnat and gives the rookie a little bit of a heads up. Now, I don't know how Ethan Lane has the confidence to move up and down through those lanes. He does it so quickly and does it rather effortlessly. Here's a backside look from Aaron Kovnat. I want to see from Ethan Lane, though. Swaps up. Gets the block on Aaron there. And now he's going to put the defensive measure on the outside line. Aaron will then do the next job for him, push him out, and ideally that moves him back to the inside. What Ethan is trying to do right here is basically short circuit both lanes, make them a little bit slower against each other. Oh, Aaron Kovnat going to make the move before Ethan Lane, just fractions of a second ahead. That is a great call from the rookie, and the 91 getting it ahead of the defending champion. And it looks like he's going to ruffle some feathers there as Nicholas Ward has to pick up the slack. The 84 of Lane now pushed by Andrew Hamilton, and he'll do him one more. Down goes the 84. That is Ethan Lane back in control. 91 of Kovnat to second. Watch further back, double file as they run. Andrew Hamilton, then the 12 of Brant McClendon. All still watching and waiting, as it looks like the 91 and the 84 having their own little showdown at the head of the pack. Ethan Lane goes way up high. Gonna block a smaller bundle on the outside. Save that line and give them a whole load of momentum heading down the back straight. 31 laps in. Keep in mind, anticipation is that pit road will be open within the next 10 laps, and when it opens, every driver is going to have to make it down and in at least twice on the day. First pit stop cycle expected before the halfway marker. Next pit stop cycle after that expected before lap 85. As they run, things get a little bit dicier, but everyone's got to start pivoting their attention to whether or not they've saved their fuel, whether or not they have enough to go the distance, or if they'll have to cut it short. Just things to think about in these first 50 laps to set up better for what's next to come. Having now about 68 laps remaining, we cross the start-finish line. 84 of Lane. Andrew Hamilton down low. Eric McFarland and Brant McClendon. DJ Stagner back in the top 5. Big and fast comeback for him to take it up into the leading picture as the outside slightly fizzles out. Nothing too significant, but it looks like now Inner Groove is back in control. Drivers are dialed in. 33 out of 100. It's Lane to the points. Andrew Hamilton now going to lead all rookies. Brant McClendon going to be pushing hard. Eric McFarland, he's had a great run so far tonight, and not a surprise. He's from one of the best programs, SuperSpeedway Racing-wise. At the head of the field, he is, and now starting to get a glimpse of one of his key teammates who's been quiet so far, and you'll see him a little bit further back. We'll talk about that story as it continues to develop here. Taking a look at the tail end of this leading bundle, Matt Jonas right now in 28th is leading what's now looking like a group of drivers that lost the pack entirely. You'll have John DeBarro, Tom Howe, Ryan Potter, John Steele being one of the teammates to mention for the Roadhouse Brigade, Chris Schetzler, Randy Fiash, Alan Rawell, Bobby Keith. These drivers are 12 seconds back on your leaders. Interestingly enough, they don't look to be in jeopardy of going one lap down. We'll talk about, of course, what happens for the guys who will, though, because we're coming up close on two that will be lapped. Eli Kars and Robert Richardson. Right now, they're working together with the 37 of Trevor Trago. Trago 8 laps down, trying to save himself and also keep these guys out of any further trouble. All a single file brigade, and they're going to be swept up very fast by the leaders. DJ Stagner falling back just a little bit. Let's see how leader now, Nick Tarbuck, handles it. Tarbuck up from 4th last time by, and now takes the reins. Lap drivers are entitled to battle to keep their lead lap status. Whether or not these three guys choose to do so, of course, at their jurisdiction, but it doesn't end well usually at Daytona. The big problem about fighting for lead lap status at Daytona is when you're caught on those curves, there's absolutely nothing you can do. Short of coming back up and ricocheting up to the circuit itself, which you don't want to do. It really doesn't do anyone any good and only causes problems. I don't know. I feel like conceding is the best thing those drivers could do, but of course they're racing their own race, and to give up would hurt them significantly, especially before a pit stop cycle that is well anticipated by the field. DJ Stagner now leads, and they are approaching very quickly this 3-car bundle. Eli Carr is heading into 1. So is DJ Stagner. Last time by, DJ ran a 46.69. That time around, 47.246 for Eli Kars. The gap is about 0.3 of a second per lap, and that's without any draft pulling these guys in closer together. And you can bet that very soon, DJ Stagner is going to start to get that slipstream from the group ahead of him, and when he does, he's going to bring the entire pack a wave of new speed, and the closing distance will become significantly smaller very, very quick. Watch out for that, because we're getting increasingly closer to that point as drivers now start to hustle on the inside line. Stagner again in control with Tarbuck, McFarland, Alex Kim, and Ethan Lane, your top 5, as we very closely follow the leaders. They head toward pit stop cycle number 1, and more importantly right now, they're going to try to get by these lappers and do it in one piece. Still gaining, still doing so quickly. Watch further back, the outside line far less developed. You'll see right now very few drivers opting to do things different. Watch behind, and there's the number 28. That's the driver to look out for, Ryan Bean, who's on the outside with Richard Smith. One of only 2 drivers right now taking it to the outer groove. Bean doesn't find any support up there. He'll have to find his way back in. Ryan Bean, a driver to look out for. He, Scott Eckrich, burst on the scene last season. Definitely race-winning caliber talent there as he gets in just ahead of Nate Campbell. Entire field a train through the opening 40 laps. Clean action. Now, let's see if Brant McClendon tries something. He looked high, and I think he was immediately dissuaded by looking at those lappers. This is heads-up racing, though, by the entire field. We've seen in previous seasons across the Ignite and Octane series, sometimes these guys run head first into lap traffic and it is so horrible when they do because everyone gets caught up in it, but it looks like a few drivers will bail first. Nick Tarbuck at lap 39 leads the undercutters, and coming with them, well, look at that. You've got the 82 V-Light cars, the 33 of Eric McFarland. Ethan Lane goes down and in as well. A big group capped off by those including Nicholas Ward, Cody Smith, Brad Patton, Sean Kalist, and it looks like the 05 coming in of Thomas Lind. First group, undercutters at 39, going to 40. DJ Stagner, according to timing and scoring, he's now the man of the hour as the two-stop strategy looks to be full in play. Watch what happens now. Second group comes in. DJ is going to come with Brant McClendon, Alex Hamilton, Aaron Kovnat, and Alex Kim. This bundle will be followed by another group, including Ryan Bean, Nate Campbell, then the number 20 of Zach Schrintenol, and there's the last of him, and Matthew Cornell. Leading that time by was David Davis, and now with them is Stevenson, Fife, and the 29 of Troy Green. These are the drivers who saved, ran the back of the pack, and now lead for the first time tonight. The spread of the field, fuel-wise, should be no bigger than 10 laps when it's all said and done. Here you go. David Davis, the one and only that time by. He'll give Don Stevenson the lead. Lappers are given a little bit of a break, as you might have noticed. Chris Schessler right there, getting himself right up to speed. He'll be able to catch up with his lead pack and get some assistance. On the way out right now, there's Aaron Kovnat, and here is a big bundle of drivers, all of which looking to compete at top speed immediately. These are the guys who went in through laps 39 and 40, led now by Eric McFarland, with Ethan Lane, Nick Tarbuck, Cody Smith, Nicholas Ward, and Sam Nieto, the backup men, as they put it up to speed themselves. Stevenson this time by, pushed by Jacob Fife. Two of the veterans looking low. A little bit of a wiggle there, no problems. It's going to be Fife who gets away. That was Josh Gallagher who wiggled. Down to pit road is Robert Richardson, Don Stevenson, Jacob Fife, Chris Schessler, Joe Yakes, Troy Green, and Aaron Eads. There's Ryan Bean still on pit road. Nevertheless, across the line that time by, looks like it was Josh Gallagher and Richard Smith. Now Smith is up and ahead, and very few drivers remain who have not gone to pit road. Take a look at the left side of your screen and you'll see the pit stop count. That will show you exactly when these drivers went down to pit road. Of course, how long it's been will give you the numbers. Last pit lap for most of these guys now has a number. If it doesn't, it means they've never gone down to pit road. That's only now Gallagher and Smith. Joe Yakes, as it stands, is the tentative race leader. He will be replaced by DJ Stagner as Stagner crosses by the start-finish line, and that he does. DJ Stagner now finding himself as the leading man on a new set of tire at lap number 41. Richard Smith still on track. He and Josh Gallagher are the lonely holdouts as it stands. When they go down to pit road, everyone will have gone to pit road. "44 laps in. Halfway marker, of course, that's lap number 50. Dropping down, Gallagher and Smith. DJ Stagner, with that in mind, will take the race lead, and intervals will now be spaced out properly. The left side of your screen updated again to show driver intervals. Right now, a little bit messed up because DJ Stagner is half a minute behind on pit road, as Josh Gallagher and Richard Smith just went in, but he will be set to take the race lead once he gets across the start-finish line for lap number 46. Up high, Thomas Lind gets back in position. He's one lap down, though. He'll try to drag onto the draft. Smaller bundle at the head. Sam Nieto, the last of what is 11 at the front of the field right now. Sam Nieto right there as you take a ride on board with the number 12. Well, that's Brant McClendon. We'll do that right after this. You're riding with the 2. Sam Nieto here is at the tail of the most important part of the pack. Right now, 2-second breakaway to David Davis and crew. However, that's not at all far enough to fully break out. Davis and company should be able to get up there and catch quickly to join the top 11 drivers. Take a ride on board right now with David Davis. You'll see what's going on. Last time by, the gap between them was about 3.5 seconds. As they cross the line again, interval is practically identical at 3.7. It's a single file fight though. If the inner groove is used by every driver here and the draft isn't in play, then in theory, those guys will all be going the exact same speed. 47.289 that time by for DJ Stagner. 47.013 though for David Davis. 0.2 quicker. So, with a little bit more aggression in their push, Davis and crew might just be able to make that gap up, but as you can see, it is a lonely set of turns for them right now as they find themselves rather isolated. DJ Stagner coming through the tri-oval, leading man. He's got Brant McClendon right behind, and as we promised, here's a look inside from the front, and we'll then check the back on Brant McClendon. Brant right now in that number 12 running second place. He qualified 5th, so he's in a very similar spot to where it all began for him. He hasn't had to move many mountains just yet, but the rest of that podium absolutely has. DJ Stagner has gone from 15th to 1st, and Andrew Hamilton has gone from 28th up to 3rd. A remarkable gain for Hamilton to go north of 20 and approach the 25 mark in positions gained. A huge night for him so far, and best yet, it really has only just begun. Looking up high is Alex Kim. He does that though. I think that's going to bring the field all back together. Well, wasn't Alex Kim, David Davis. Davis is already there and he's brought his group in. However, keep in mind that's only 17 drivers in leading contention right now. Next is going to be Don Stevenson, who is in 18th, and he is 8 seconds behind. Not at all what you want to see from 18th on back. That's more than half the field that is effectively out of the fight. However, they got a lot of time as DJ Stagner now passed. On the outside is now a big stack of drivers and a whole lot of talent. Outer Groove takes control for the first time since lap 1. And at lap 49, Brant McClendon leads. Remarkable. He'll have Andrew Hamilton following him. DJ Stagner there in 3rd. 4th is Alex Kim. Eric McFarland right up there in P5. That's the way they roll as we are now just about a lap and a half away from getting to the halfway point. Ethan Lane all over Alex Kim. Contact, Thomas Lind way down and in. Everyone's going to get away from it there. The second pack, Joe Yakes and company will not see it. Thomas Lind just got a small shot. He's got right side damage, and he's going to have to head down a pit road. That was contact with Jacob Fife. Nothing happens. We stay green. You saw them fly by down to the back straight. Well, Fife here definitely having some problems as well as he loses the draft. But everyone stays clean and green, although Jacob now is going to have to fall back as a result of that contact. Taking a look with a wider angle down the back straightaway. Leading group now cut to 16, the elites of this race, who have held themselves in and on for the better part of 125 miles, and they've done so amazingly caution-free. DJ Stagner now set to lead as we come toward the second half. Will it be him or Eric McFarland who do the honors? Coming across the line, 3 wide for some bonus points. McFarland gets it. Then Stagner, Ward with a 3 wide decoy. Well, they're not teammates, but McFarland better be thanking Ward, as at the halfway point, it's the 33 in control. 50 laps remaining. At the halfway point, here's your 50% down, 50% to go rundown, brought to you by Next Level Racing. DJ Stagner is second now. Well, that just changed. He leads over Eric McFarlane. Then, right after that, you will have Brant McClendon in the mix. Then goes the 24 of Andrew Hamilton. Just after that, Eric McFarlane. Fifth place as they run is Zach Schrintenel. Fifth is going to be Eric McFarlane bouncing down. Nicholas Ward 7th. Nick Tarbuck is now there as well. It's a bouncy up and down circumstance as they came across the line to make it easier. Brant McClendon leads. Andrew Hamilton was second. Zach Schrintenel was third. DJ Stagner was fourth. Eric McFarlane fifth. Nicholas Ward 6th, and 7th was Nick Tarbuck, with Nate Campbell 8th, Aaron Kovnat 9th, and Sam Nieto in 10th. Tonight's event and all races this season are brought to you by Next Level Racing, the best place to go for sim racing hobbyists who want to upgrade their equipment. Since 2023, Next Level Racing has been with us, and they have done a remarkable job as the premier partner of this league. They provide for our champions every year a brand new sim rig, and if you want to join the fun and register for the Integrity Racing League, signups are still open. The fight for the championship does not end today. It goes till October, and we can't thank Next Level Racing enough for their continued support. With 48 laps to go, live on FTN Broadcasting, we'll take a fast step away for just a minute and bring you a message from our friends at Next Level Racing. We will be right back after this.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal achievement.
Smooth sailing for Brant McClendon with 46 laps to go. In case you missed it, use promo code INTEGRITY24 for all purchases on nextlevelracing.com. 5% discount automatically applied if you do so. Now watch to the outside as McClendon sees some competition. Here comes DJ Stagner surging down low with Aaron Kovnat, the rookie, pushing. It's a spread out top 16, but these are the drivers that have lasted the test of time. As they run, it's the Ryan Blaney-inspired 12 of McClendon. Fights as hard as he can to keep things steady on the outside. To this point, of course, he's had a lot of success in the last 10 to 15 laps, quiet through the first half of the race, and now getting a chance to shine. Caloff Dice Racing sees Aaron Kovnat. The Swamp sees Stagner. Schrintenel is now coming up in the mix himself with Andrew Hamilton and Nate Campbell. 3 wide. A spread with Stagner now cut in the middle. We'll see what happens. They're probably going to give him the room he needs. Lapper is well involved as Eli Carr is in the 82. So watch out for Eli, the only lapper right now in the mix. DJ Stagner is going to settle back in. No problems for him. BJ Motorsports is Andrew Hamilton and Brant McClendon, by the way, so look out for them. BJ Motorsports, drivers on the move. They have 2 of their drivers firmly contending up and ahead. They are first and third. KER League Racing is Aaron Eads and Troy Green. We don't see them up there right now, but when they get there, we'll be sure to talk about them. 44 remaining, and it is all the BJ guys. BJ Motorsports with Andrew Hamilton and Brant McClendon holding their own and fighting Hamilton in the Tennessee Volunteer Chevrolet. The 12 being a Ford. Manufacturers don't quite matter tonight, as Kaloff is going to lead that call for Aaron Kovnat. That's going to be a pass made for the 91. Aaron, one of the few drivers who has a dedicated spotter for this race. And it looks like it's going to be some teamwork on Tuesday nights all season long for Henry Kaloff and Aaron Kovnat. They're putting together their first full-time effort, as we mentioned, and it might lead to seeing Henry Kaloff eventually in a racing capacity in this series. Aaron is coming over as a well-known FTN Broadcasting driver. He's competed in Saturday Night Thunder, the Iora Cup Series, the Forel Cup Series, and now dipping his toes into the Tuesday Night Tour, ever competitive as it's been all season long. Fans of the channel, if you're a first-time viewer or a veteran on FTN and you enjoy tonight's content, leave a like on the stream and subscribe to FTN. The chat room is entirely free, if, of course, you subscribe and keep that subscription active. If you got a favorite driver you'd like to shout out, let us know right now. We'll be reading shout outs throughout the rest of the race to any of your 40 competitors tonight. If you have anyone who's a favorite, of course, let us know. We'll let them know. As down the back straight, it is tight again. Kovnat and McClendon. Outside line. Small but mighty as they take the lead with Aaron Kovnat getting the spot up and ahead again. Big Nacho at 7951 to the chat room. Thank you for tuning in. So far, it has been a action-packed night with another driver now getting the lead for the first time. That is Zach Schrintenel. Leaders are trying. Wow! Wow! Look at that from Eli Cars and Company. Had to hold my breath, and we'll replay it in case you missed it. Cars was up high and slid so low, we thought it was going to be contact all the way down. This might be a little bit too slow, but look at that. I can't believe it. Luckily, everyone gets away, and those drivers pinching each other luckily get out of it. We'll pull it back to the main feed right now so we don't miss the action, but I'll tell you what, it's risky when you have a lapper involved, and Chris Schetzler somehow pulls through. Eli Cars as well. And everyone gets it straight now. 41 laps to go. 2 by 2 for the top 3 rows. That's the top 5 places with Eli Cars a lapper. Everyone else single file again. It is 16 connected at the front of the field. However, don't look back. Don Stevenson has not only been able to bring another group of drivers in the mix that will extend it up to 23, but look who's in the middle of this fight. Jacob Fife. Fife, after having contact early on with the 0-5 of Thomas Lind, has been able to restore himself. And not only that, but look who's in this line with this group of drivers. Thomas Lind. He's 3 laps down now, but he's put himself back on the racetrack, and so it's a big group of drivers who are looking to get back up there. The leading guys have not yet been able to escape, and it looks like they're not even going to be given the chance. Don Stevenson sees now as David Davis wants to go. Davis surges up high. He'll be the first of anyone to try it, and now he takes it upstairs. Davis racing tonight alongside Robert Richardson and Matt Cornell for WSOW Racing. They're a multi-car group, 3 drivers today. David Davis, he's holding his own, and now he's got some support from Fife all the way down to Lynn. Talk about a different look for the field. The biggest it's been since lap 40. Connor Newman in the chat room, thank you for stopping by. Let's go McClendon. Brant right now, he finds himself up in 4th. 3rd on the inside line, only behind 1 on the outside, that being your leader, Zach Schrintenel. Big Nacho 7951 also here for Brant McClendon. Looks like an early favorite on the season. Great to see all that fan support. 1 down to the inside. And that looks to be an out-of-character move for the rest of the field, so don't mind that strategy-wise. Trying to get a read on who that was. Not Kevin Matz, as it looks like only one on pit road as they run. Brad Patton is still with us. So, right now, most drivers are staying on the racing circuit. We're not going to see pit road become a big deal, but by technicality, pit road is open. That was Trevor Trago. Trago is 8 laps down. That's a status update on the Wanted Goons 37. Back up to the leaders anyway. Pit road is technically open. And the reason being is that you could split this race in any which way now. You could go down to pit road right now, or you could go down with 20 laps to go. And if you're a driver at the front of the field, you'll make it to the end of the race. You can basically do anything now. However, you got to start considering what's the right thing to do and when should it be done. Looks like Richard Smith has decided that he is going to make a call into pit road very soon. He just sent out the signal. We'll see if that ends up being acted on or if it's a misclick. Right now, he's on track, so no signs of anything. If you go in right now and you undercut with 36 laps to go, I don't think there's any real benefits. The cons of it are obviously you'll separate yourself from the pack, but also say, for instance, we see an overtime finish. Then you're really going to be screwed. The reason is, of course, well, you're not going to have yourself any extra padding in terms of fuel. If we have a few extra laps, that could cost you everything. There's a few drivers that have gone down and in, though. Brad Patton is going to come out with a big fleet of drivers we have not been talking about tonight. And here you have it. Patton, Witham, Ethan Lane, Nick Tarbuck, Nicholas Ward. And so you got to start considering the facts. 35 laps to go, drivers are going for the undercut method. Zach Schrintenel has kept himself out there, but we might just see, slowly but surely, better opportunity to go in now. If you have a group around you, yes. If you go in individually, no can do. So now, anyone decide to split off that time by? No. But a sizable portion of your leading guys had decided to take a chance. And not only that they're sizable, but these are some really competitive drivers, and their influence is on the field. .33 McFarland is still the leader. Got Brad Patton, Ethan Lane, Nick Tarbuck, Nicholas Ward, Sam Nieto, and going to the back of them, Cody Smith. Great group right there. Zach Schrintenel has Kovnat, has Brant McClendon, has Chris Schetzler, has Jacob Fife, Joe Yakes, Nate Campbell. Also a great group here. But it looks like they're going to try to run things a little bit longer rather than squeezing in for the undercut. And now, two big strategy diversions coming into one spot. The guys who go long, the guys who go short. We're going to figure out in the next 33 laps who amongst them will win. Have to be honest though, I think right now the advantage has to be with the guy who just went to pit road. And I'm not going to say that just to eat my words, but I'm also saying that because of who's there. You got Lane, Patton, McFarland, Cody Smith, Sam Nieto. That is a huge, huge group to deal with that has speed and confidence. And best off, they are not off the lead lap. Since they're on the lead lap right now, the rest of the drivers are going to go in. They're more than likely just going to take the race lead when everything gets cycled out. Still a lot of time until then. James Clotton in the chat room, thank you for stopping by. Let's go Eli Cars. Right now, Cars has been running with the best of them for a while here, although he is a lapper. He's running in 34th. Qualified 27th today. Things just not going his way in terms of strategy and whatnot, but he's there, and he is a driver who can make a big impact right now by running on the outside. Aaron Kovnat goes high. Aaron, a rookie who's been rather confident as of late. Got a few rookies inside the top 10. You got Aaron Kovnat, you have Alex Kim, you have Matthew Cornell, you have David Davis. Those are the 4 rookies in the top 10. Just under half of the top 10 being made up of young talent getting their first chance. 31 laps to go, coming to 30. Leaders up on lappers. Trevor Trago, 64, a DJ Stagner, and of course, Bobby Keith. Now, let's talk about the case right now for Stagner. Last time he went to pit road, and he runs right now in the 32nd position, well, pretty recent. He last went down to pit road, lap number 66. We're coming up on lap 70 now. So he just went down and in. The only problem is he doesn't have any immediate support. The good news is he's going to find some in this lead group. The bad news is, of course, these drivers are going to have to pull out and pull off eventually. So it's not going to be all doom and gloom for Stagner just because he is set to go one lap down. But things are going to get a little bit more complicated when, of course, he has to decide who he has helping him when the pit stop cycle is said and done. Okay, the lapper's in a corner. First time we've had that situation with the leaders all day long. Stagner has every right not to budge. Hamilton gets in just ahead of Eli Cars. This is a tricky scenario. And it's very hard for every driver because the lappers don't want to give in. Oh, Aaron Cobnott, big block there. And he's going to get the race lead now using Stagner as a big helper. Oh, Cobnott around. Big trouble now. Yellow flag for the first time tonight. Leader Cobnott and company go spinning. Caution is out. 29 laps to go. And for the first time today, the caution flies. Watch this. What exactly caused it? Not sure. Let's see what it was. Pulling it down at a half speed. And so that's going to be from out of turn 2. Stagner high. Late block from Aaron Cobnott. Yellow flags out. He followed just a little bit too late. Brant McClendon will take the lead. As the 91 comes up, Bobby Keith into Joe Yakes. And one more look at this from the 91's backside as it looks like that's what's going to cause it. Stagner went and not able to time it with him. Look at that. Late block. And that's the problem. Horrible for Aaron, who's been having a great run, leading as a rookie, and unfortunately, just doesn't go his way. Car's not totaled, but definitely damaged. See how Brant McClendon gets the race lead out of that one. Don't think he's going to have the race lead now because pit stop cycles and the like. Watch this, though. From the onboard perspective of the 12 of Brant McClendon. Everyone except him wrecking right before his eyes. And all he had to do was watch. Trevor Trago bailed out there. As it looks like Nate Campbell will be scored with the overall edge into pit road. It is Campbell and McClendon come through and now lead those who haven't gone down to pit road for their second and potentially final pit stop of the night. Pit stop strategy has been pretty simple so far. It's been basically open and shut. This pit stop and yellow flag happening pretty late. So honestly, it doesn't affect too much. As now, Alex Kim gets on the way. It will be Brant McClendon leading out over Andrew Hamilton. Rest of the field coming out just after. You see Jacob Fife and Alex Kim. So now, the overall race leader will be Ethan Lane. Lane there. As smoke billows down the back straight. And we had trouble for Bobby Keith under caution. Watch this. Bobby here getting through. And it looks like as he's hitting the brakes, gets on the transition and locks up. Nothing serious. Leaders get away. And the 92 is going to have to spin it back around. So nothing happens there for the leaders of the field. We will continue our regular scheduled yellow and return to green at lap number 74. Or rather 76 with 25 to go. We are on lap 74. And we have only a quarter of this race left when we go green. Ethan Lane will lead. End of line penalty is going to be given to DJ Stagner on that one. So Stagner given the fault on yellow as he is currently down on pit road. Nate Campbell in the 45, the man we watched getting the edge off pit road. And you'll see the leaders coming through now. Let's see who exactly has what it takes as the field reorganizes. Gets set going and green again. Campbell right now running in 16th, meaning that 15 drivers will be ahead of him based on when they last went into pit road. Last pit lap for most of these guys at the front of the pack. Now going to be 74. However, Ethan Lane, it was 10 laps prior. And right now, the judgment call to have gone down and in and doing that under green looks to be the leading call. We don't know if it will be the winning call. But for Ethan Lane, things work out well as we are set to go green again with 25 laps to go. Lane will be backed up by Sam Nieto and Cody Smith on the inside to his outside. The 97 of Nicholas Ward, Eric McFarland, and just after him, the Alex Hamilton. Double file. Pace truck will let go. It's been a nice and easy night for our iRacing pace truck so far. Nothing too much to worry about. Taking a look off the backside there. Set to leave us. The tail view. Ethan Lane and Nicholas Ward will restart this race where they started it. First and second. Same front row as we get going. The pace truck is in. Ethan Lane will go on his way. It's time to go racing again with the 84 of Lane. Grabbing a gear and bringing it back to speed. Back to life, as a matter of fact. It's going to be Lane and Ward. Positions 1 and 2. Green flags out for restart number 1. It's Lane on the inside in full control. Double file all the way down. Leading man, Sam Nieto now. And a hard surge for the 97 of Nicholas Ward to start. Only ends up getting him bottlenecked down the back straightaway. Ethan Lane falls back. Oh, wow, look at that move from Brant McClendon. For a half second there, I thought that was going to be a turn. Just a hard-fought move to take a spot quick. DJ Stagner now 1 lap down. Aaron Kovnat 2 down. DJ is quick enough to maintain in the pack. For Kovnat, it looks like he's currently still on pit road getting some serious damage repairs. 24 to go as we look back in front. Ethan Lane is taking the lead again. Brant McClendon up and ahead, now with the help of Nicholas Ward. Interesting thing is, Nicholas Ward has been in the mix all night long, and he even ended up starting in second, but he hasn't really yet made moves for the lead like the one we just saw now. Ward is a driver who had a huge season last season. 2 wins, podium in the Integrity Ignite Series, finally putting it back together. When you look down the record books of the Integrity Racing League, and you look even before our time involved with them here at FTN, you'll note that last time Nicholas Ward was able to come away with wins was before the pandemic, until last year. But since 2025, big shot down low. That was Cody Smith, I believe. What just happened to Smith? Hold on. Full lap replay. He's alone and out of contention with huge damage to the left front. Yellow flag is now out the second time today. What just caused it? Cody here, running low to Alex Hamilton. I am very confused. Did we miss something? I don't believe so on the broadcast feed anyway, but the yellow flag will fly. As the pack gets away from it, Troy Green backing up slightly and trying to see what happened. The yellow flag will come out, and to my understanding, it's a safety matter. Cody Smith completely shoots out of line, and the yellow is out. I don't know if it was an equipment failure for Cody or something else. We're going to ride on board with Smith, trying to get to the bottom of this. Take a look on board. Down the straight. Hard to tell because I don't think he was hit. And the broadcast replay suggests that he wasn't. If there was contact, and we're going to pull it back one more time from Matt Cornell's perspective, that is a horrible case of netcode where drivers receive signals that they were hit even if they weren't given contact. Here's a look one more time. We're even going to pull it down to a half speed because all signs show that for Smith, that was a reaction that, no, there's no way. Yellow flag's out. And from our view, Cody Smith just dropped down there, but that makes no sense. So hopefully we'll get an understanding of that later on in the night as Cody Smith brings out the second yellow. Very confused about that one. We'll have less than 20 to go when we go green. Twenty laps remaining. Nick Tarbuck, the leader. 33 of Eric McFarland. They're in second. 28th to third. Andrew Hamilton, the biggest mover. As Trevor Trago is getting some laps back now. Only one retiree in Ryan B. And the rest of the field, all 39 drivers still racing. Trago now going to be 3 laps down with the potential to get one more lap back. We will go green with 18 laps to go, it appears. Eric McFarland, who qualified in third, is now up 1 spot. On a last to first tour, this is unbelievable, Ryan Potter. Ryan Potter is now up to P9 from 40th. So for Ryan, he's up 31 places. The biggest mover of anyone. I mean, there's no question about that. But 40th on back is remarkable. It looks like tonight, if the swap is going to win, they might have to go all out on Ryan Potter. That would be huge. Again, the swap has such a great heritage of winning at Daytona as a team. They're second to none, really. We'll figure out what they can do today with Potter in the 99 up in front. $18 to go when we return to action. Chris Schetzler, one of the final guys, now getting things back in order. Eli Carr's 1 lap down. Trevor Trago is now 2 down, and he has made up a majority of his laps lost. Let's see what happens now as he comes across the start-finish line. When we go green, we're going to crank it up. Brought to you by our friends at Whiplash SimCams. As they did last season, they'll be bringing you all the cameras for 2026 and beyond. Thank you to all those who are tuned in. This is only our second caution of the race, by the way, so if you just got with us and you think the racing is a little bit dull right now, don't be surprised by the great racing you're going to see very soon. We've run north of 65 laps under green. 19 to go. 18, we come back. A former race winner at Daytona, Nick Tarbuck, takes the reins, and you'll get the best angles, the best sights and sounds when we crank it up. This time by on FTN Broadcasting. Action is brought to you free all year round. And to show your support, click that subscribe button. Always greatly appreciated. Trying to move the needle this year and get some more momentum toward hitting 4,000 subscribers before the year's end. Already at 3.1. So some great movement to begin the year. We love to keep things going. Thank you for your continued support. You're watching the Jurassic Auto Supply 250, brought to you by Next Level Racing. Race number 1 of a 30-race tour here in the Integrity Racing League. Pace truck is in. 6th place starter, 2024 season opener winner, Nick Tarbuck, the leading man. Here we go. Green flags out, on our way, and with 18 laps to go from here, let's crank it up from the World Center of Racing, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Waiting for the call on the field there. I'm surprised that wasn't a yellow. We're waiting on the call to be made, but in the meanwhile, take a look back. Huge incident down the back straight last time by. Here's a look. And I'm sure by the time this replay is over, the yellow flag will fly. Here's a look from Tom Howe's perspective before things got nasty. Re-wide off the jump. And you see there down the back straight, just a big collaboration. Worst way possible. Chris Schetzler among those involved. John DeBarro and company got away. Here's a look on board with Schetzler. And it looks like, without the caution being claimed that time, the yellow flag will not fly. Here's a look. Chris Schetzler here went up top. Aaron Eads got in the wall. Chain reaction, 1, 2, 3. Most of the field will get away. And so as we look back up in front, it's double file. Let's give you 2 more laps, cranking it up again, uninterrupted, at least for a little while longer. '97 of Nicholas Ward at the head of the field, and alongside him, Ethan Lane. Sounds pretty familiar. That's the same top 2 that began this race all those laps ago. We are with 13 laps to go now. Lap 86 in the mix. Looking at the number 96, Josh Gallagher with the University of Notre Dame paint scheme for the first time all night long. Even though he qualified in 11th, he's finally up to 2nd. The high spot he's running through the day, and he's trailing Brad Patton as Patton leads Wanted Goons back up to the points. Pit stops for the time being will be irrelevant, so we'll focus less on the strategy in terms of pit road and more on what's going on to the racetrack. Double file all the way down. Nate Campbell, John DeBarro, Joe Yakes, all up here. Right now, we got about 21 drivers within a second and a half of your leader. Last of them is Alan Rawell. Now, John Steele and a few more are looking to connect the gap and bring everyone from the 92 to Richard Smith in 25th back up to the leading conversation. Right now, they're not there, but with 11 laps to go, still time to get there and close a more than 2-second gap. Oh, contact! There goes Troy Green, and there's trouble. Yellow flags out with 11 laps to go, and the caution flies. We'll get a replay fast before cutting briefly to commercial break just for some maintenance, because that one caused flickers. That means we're coming toward big trouble as more and more drivers are seeing contact. Green cut down and in on the 15 of Matt Jonas, and when he did that, chaos. Comes up the track. That's the freeze frame. Here's the slow-mo. Up into Brant McClendon. McClendon tags the wall. And you'll see there, Ethan Lane caught up in it. Jacob Fife, Nate Campbell, Sam Nieto, Don Stevenson, Joe Yakes. Talk about star-studded. Ryan Potter gets damaged. Tom Howe and the 24 of Hamilton. And Brant McClendon as well. That's a bad sign. Hopefully everyone is going to bunch themselves up quickly. We'll have less than 10 laps to go when we return. Live on FTN Broadcasting, you're watching coverage of the Jurassic Auto Supply 250. We'll return right after these messages. Stay right here. Action from this point onward is about to get a lot more intense.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal achievement.
Back in action, the field double file after the most recent yellow, and still set to go. You have not missed a thing live on FTN, and as expected, everyone's in orderly fashion here. 1 lap remaining until we go green. It'll be a 7-lap shootout, if that. Stay green anyway, led currently by Brad Patton. Patton finds himself advantageous over the 96 of Josh Gallagher. Then you'll have Alex Kim and Nick Tarbuck positions 3 and 4 as they currently run. iRacing timing and scoring loading up on your side right now. You're watching the end of the Jurassic Auto Supply 250, brought to you by Next Level Racing. We're set to go green once again, and the iRacing pace truck will let him loose this time. Here goes Fred Jones in the pace truck. Now, time to bring it back up to speed. It will be on the inside, Brad Patton. Green flags out, 7 laps remaining. Back up to speed. Patton's got the jump. He'll bring the field with him. Nick Tarbuck, the number 4 right now, watching and waiting to get an opportunity. Currently, it appears it's going to be single file and the outside in control rather than the guys down and in. Brad Patton going to jump down. He'll take the lead again. As these guys swap continuously, you got to wonder, is it the right call to go down aggressively right now? Well, I don't think it is, but you're going to see it happen time and again. Luckily, anyhow, it doesn't look like it's going to cause any problems, and now your race leader, coming all the way around, swinging on the outside, is Alex Kim in the 73. As they cross the line again, Kim in control. He's got it with now 7 remaining. And less than that, make it 6. 95 laps in, if we get a yellow flag from this point onward, the race will go to a green-white checkered state. That's the position we're in now. Nick Tarbuck is in second. He's going to try to fan out, get to the outside. He'll take the spot and move out of the way on Alex Kim. This gives the outer group a little bit more control as the yellow flag will fly back of the field. Caution is out. We're going to have ourselves 2 laps at the very most to settle it. Take a look back and we'll see what happened there. Jake Richard, Connor Newman in the chat room rooting for McClendon. Garage Roadhouse coming in, of course, for the Roadhouse Racing team. And this was an issue at the back of the field. Didn't get a good look at it. The yellow flag is out, and the field is again at a standstill. 5 laps to go. Double file again. We go green. A 2-lap shootout, no matter how it comes, is what's up next. What it could be is a natural green-white checker that doesn't extend the race by anything, or it could be the first official overtime attempt. If that's the case, we will go to lap 101 to finish off the night. Regardless, this is going to be a 2-lap run, a very short one, after only our 3rd yellow flag, or rather our 4th of the night. We'll see what happens here. Nick Tarbuck is your leader for this brief run, the 2024 winner of this race, with the speed and ability definitely to get it done again. But he will have with him and chasing Alex Kim, Josh Gallagher, Brad Patton, Matt Jonas, John DeBarro, just to name a few. Rookies in the top 10, Alex Kim and Andrew Hamilton. Not a lot of rookies up and in front, at least right now. Could change, because not too far back you'll have David Davis in 15th and DJ Stagner in 17th. Ryan Potter still leading the team, 40th up to 9th. Just behind the eye of the storm. It'll be 2 laps to go when we return to business, and it will not be an extended green-white checker. This will be a natural one, which means we're still racing the lap 100. We reach the white flag, the race is official. Any other caution will extend the race. it's anyone's race. That's one thing to keep in mind. 3 drivers now in the top 10 qualified lower than 30th. One of those drivers being the guy who didn't even race in the duels, and he's in 9th. Qualifying, nor the previous 90-plus laps will determine who wins this race. The last 5 miles will be everything. The opportunities these drivers have had, whether or not they've passed them up or they've taken every, it could flip. A driver who we haven't talked about all race long could end up the winner, or worse yet for some, a driver who's been in the mix all night long could fall out. Fans in the chat room seem to have a favorite, and a pretty obvious choice in that being Brant McClendon. He's still there, running in 7th as it stands, from where he was in 5th. Richard Smith will disconnect on the night, the final retiree he could be if we go green from this point onward. If we do, this could all be over before we see 11 o'clock on the Eastern Front. If not, we could see more than 10 laps of racing in terms of 3 green-white checkered attempts. Nick Tarbuck with the chance to go for 2 wins in this race in 3 years. Alex Kim to start a Rookie of the Year campaign. He's got a shot. Start things off P1, not just in the rookie standings, but overall. Don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. It could mean the difference for everyone. Brad Patton, 4th to 4th on the day, just where he started. Matt Jonas qualified 31st. John DeBarro qualified 33rd. The final push is this moment. Eli Carr is his 21st. Just to keep that in mind, James Clotton, he is on the lead lap. That could happen. It's anyone's race, and there are 27 on the lead lap. Green, white, checkered, number 1. It's a natural run to the finish. We get to the white. This thing's official. Here we go. Nick Tarbuck leads them off. 2 laps remaining. Give it a moment down the back straight and you'll see they're still double wide. Not a lot of action going 3 wide yet, except for Ethan Lane. Lane, the pole sitter, the defending season champion, now desperate to give it one last shot for the win, but he has no help up there, and that's going to be to his detriment big time. Kevin Max, not quite. He's going to go looking there, but doesn't officially commit. 1 lap to go, and the rookie Alex Kim is in control for the final 2.5 miles here at Daytona. White flag is out. Brad Patton chasing, and so is Ryan Potter. Do we see problems? Not yet. Not quite. Now we do. Big issue for the 24 of Andrew Hamilton. Hamilton goes around, and he's now going to be backed up. So is Bonnie Keith and the 5 of Richardson. Back of the field comes apart with Nate Campbell, but all the while up in front, they're single file. Patton tries to shake Alex Kim. Can't quite do it. Patton gets shaken himself. Ryan Potter moving Patton out of the way. It'll be Patton versus Alex Kim, but no longer. Ryan Potter, pushed by Nick Tarbuck, goes up high. They're 3 wide. And Alex Kim wins it. Unbelievable finish. The rookie wins. Swamp Motorsports comes inches away from a last to first win. Tarbuck just inches behind for his second Daytona win in 3 years. Alex holds the perfect steady wheel and wins at the World Center of Racing. Can you believe it? What a finish. Tarbuck had the closing momentum. Let's replay that finish one more time. Alex leading every moment of that final lap, but I doubt he thought he was going to win it by the way things were looking. Take a watch down the straight. And Patton, ends up getting turned. You see it there. Potter kept his foot in the gas. And Brad skates out of it. Lucky to finish 11th, all things considered. Ryan Potter had the closing speed. He had a little bit of aero damage. I think that's what cost him the win. Kim goes up high, and when he does that, he gives up the room for Nick Tarbuck. Doesn't matter. He still wins. That's the finish. Right at the line. We'll come back with post-race coverage after an amazing finish. You're watching the Jurassic Auto Supply 250. What a way to close out this race. Race results, podium interviews, right after this. You're watching live on FTN. Stay with us for more action after the following message.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
By a sliver of a second, Alex Kim wins the Jurassic Auto Supply 250 and comes away 7 thousandths ahead of Ryan Potter and 11 thousandths ahead of Nick Tarbuck. Just behind that, you'll have Joe Yakes in 4th, David Davis P5, Brant McClendon 6th, and DJ Stagner 7th. 2 top 10s for the swamp after all's said and done. Alan Rawell finishes 8th with Jacob Fife 9th, and Eli Cars is scored in 10th at the end of it, coming away with a top 10 finish. He pulled more than 10 spots in that final run. Biggest mover, 40th to 2nd, Ryan Potter. Next up on the menu, you'll have 11th place Brad Patton and Aaron Eads finishing in 12th. 13th place goes Sam Nieto, and Josh Gallagher's 15th to Kevin Matz's 14th. Chris Schetzler finishes 16th with Don Stevenson 17th. John DeBarro 18th. 19th is Andrew Hamilton, and Matt Jonas is P20. Then 21st is John Steele with Randy Fiash 21st. Matthew Cornell, 22nd. Nate Campbell, 23rd. 24th, Bobby Keith. 25th, Tom Howe. Then you'll have Kent Wetherell, Nicholas Ward, Richard Smith, and Trevor Trago wrapping up the top 30. Your final 10 drivers see Ethan Lane. Last after that, of course, you'll have Robert Richardson, Thomas Lind, Zach Schrintenel, Troy Green, Eric McFarland, Sean Kalist, Cody Smith, Aaron Cobnott, and Ryan Bean, the final driver on the night. What a way to win it. And And Alex Kim is a driver we've been circling for a while, saying that he's due to get one. He burst onto the scene last season, got himself his first career podium, and it looks like today he proves that he intends to waste no time. I'll tell you this much, he wasted no time winning in 2026, and after a part-time campaign last season, you're here to stay, Alex, winning at Daytona.
Oh my God, what a way to start the season. Like, I barely led any laps, like 3 laps. And yeah, we closed it out, we won the race. I thought Brad was gonna move out of line there and try to make a move on me at the end, but yeah, that was really stressful. Yeah, I'm glad we pulled out there.
The excitement, of course, of winning coming after a long night behind the wheel. It was a long time under green flag. A lot of this race run with green conditions. First off, what was it like getting yourself used to the full pack at speed? A lot of these drivers you haven't raced with yet, so what's it like getting used to it? High competition for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you gotta try to make some friends and try to find partners to push with, know who is good at pushing, who you can trust, and just seeing what can happen. Like, the duels prepared me, I think, pretty well, like with half the field there, racing with them, seeing what it's like, getting used to things again after a 3-month break. And yeah, I mean, for the race, it didn't feel too much different from the duels, just longer.
And it looks like all that dual experience working out in your favor. You talk about it there. Strategy was pretty simple. The fuel game didn't end up playing out. I mean, of course, the short run is how you win it, but how did you feel about that green-white checkered? Can you walk us through all that? Because I'm sure for you, heart racing to the last second.
Oh yeah, definitely. When we were starting on the outside there, and Patton got that good run off the start, I thought it was done. I thought he was going to block, and we were just going to fall back into the field and finish like top 10 or so. But when I got that push from... Oh, sorry, wait. Patton was pushing me. Someone else was leading. I don't remember who. And he was like really good at pushing. Like, he brought me up to the front and didn't pull out, like I said. And yeah, brought me to the win. So I'm definitely thanking him.
Tremendous performance to start your full-time career. Alex, you're a race winner already, and there's still 29 races ahead of us. Next up on the schedule, second race of the season, it's going to be Old Atlanta, so already a win is right here. You've got it. What's it going to take now to keep building momentum? A championship shot, not far-fetched to say after already winning today.
I would say probably just got to stay consistent all season. Can't really afford those really bad points finishes, like crashing out and whatever. But yeah.
Alex Kim, winner from Daytona. Any final shout-outs or comments you'd like to send? The floor is yours.
I'll say shout out to Jason He and Noah Chu. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Alex Kim winning as a rookie here to start 2026 on top at Daytona. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Just behind Alex by a matter of thousands. 7, in fact, is Ryan's best ever finish on FTN, second place. And I'm sure after starting in 40th and not racing in the duels at all, to have finished so well and even be in the conversation, maybe a surprise before it all got started. But Ryan, what a drive, and just behind when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it was that was tough. I mean, we started out. I mean, literally last, and the first half or more of the race, I was just stuck in a 10-car pack by myself in the 10-car pack, just not trying not to go a lap down. And then we get the caution we need. Everything kind of falls in our lap at that point to where we were able to make up time. But I mean, oh my gosh, I thought we did everything right at the end. I really did. I thought we did everything right. I don't think there was anything else I could have done to get there. Just, whew. I'm speechless right now.
Remarkable, of course, the drive to get from the back of the field on up. Let's talk about it to begin with here. You started in 40th. had to go through every driver. How difficult, or how much more difficult you think the race was because of that?
Oh, it was definitely difficult because, I mean, it feels like, especially, it felt early on in this race that you needed to be up front to be competitive because I know, like I said, I started in the back end. With how bad the start of that race was, with how everybody was checking up and stuff like that, I mean, our pack pretty much lost the draft almost immediately. So it was kind of a survival race for the first half to try and make sure we still were in contention and not losing a lap. And because especially if we lost a lap, there was going to be 8 or 9 of us that were going to lose a lap, so it was going to be a hell of a fight to try and get one back. But and then just to try and drive to the front. Thankfully, when they did crash, they took out quite a few of them, so I only restarted like 20th, 21st, something like that. So it was just trying to work my way through the field and make all the right runs, and it was tough. I mean, there was a lot of times where I thought, I couldn't go forward. I didn't know where I was supposed to go, and it just constantly just had to keep working the lines to try and make myself go forward. But yeah, it was definitely difficult.
Now, of course, your best finish that we've seen in a long while of the 99 team, you and DJ Stagner back at it at Daytona, and both of you ending up with top 10s, but for most of the race, you guys weren't really around each other, so I guess things were a coincidence. How important do you think that impacted you at all?
I don't know if that necessarily impacted me that much. I mean, definitely from the strategy aspect, I think it impacted me because, I mean, like I said, I was kind of stuck in my own zip code compared to him for 90% of this race until we pretty much, when he crashed, it pretty much was just a complete flip-flop where he was stuck where I was and I was up front. So, I mean, yeah, we never really had the opportunity to work together, but, I mean, he was still there to coach me through some of the moves I needed to make at the end, and that was definitely helpful in that regard. But it would have been nice to have some teammate help earlier through the race, but I guess things worked out in the end in the grand scheme of it.
Huge performance, podium placement to start the season. And before we head to Atlanta, a lot of momentum. Ryan Potter, any final shout-outs you'd like to send, it's all yours.
Yeah, just want to give shouts-outs to all my teammates at Swamp Motorsports. DJ was here with me tonight. Brian Cornelius up in the spotter booth was helping both of us out there. Ty was our good Samaritan little cheerleader there for us. Obviously, all the other guys back at the Swamp. Sponsors were good to us, Holden Wieners, Ty's Tenders and Strips. We got Jim's Breakfast. We've got Buddy Bryan's. We've got all sorts of them here. So the shouts out to all them, and yeah.
Ryan Potter, 7 thousandths away from victory after starting 40th and last tonight. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
And the podium was only spread by 11 thousandths, as just behind your 2024 Daytona winner finishes the race in P3. Unbelievable run for all 3 drivers, and for Nick Tarbuck, of course, a position he's not unfamiliar with at all. Back on the podium, and had it been for maybe 50 feet, you could have been the winner at Daytona.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, it's glad to be back. Glad to see you again. Another season started off a pretty decent way. Yeah, man, these are super speedway races. You just never know what's going to happen. This is the first time I've really tried to actually race the whole race. I've usually kind of fall back or just kind of, let what happens in these kinds of races. But this time I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a little more aggressive. I'm going to throw, some lane changes out, see if I can stay at the front the whole time. And it worked out. I didn't get collected in anything, luckily. Close a few times, but yeah, I was able to be fighting till the very end. Tried to pull out when I had a good enough run, but so close. I think it was 0.011 seconds separated the top 3. So yeah, man, it's good to get out of here with some good points, good stage points, an unwrecked race car, and some good momentum to start the season.
Of course, 2024, you won this race. You know what it's like in this situation. Back with the Next Gens. We've been with them for 2 years. Still looks like you got it going strong. The duels put you up in a good qualifying position. Do you think track position mattered too much in that sense?
I normally don't think it does here, but I am not good at maneuvering my way through the pack in the Next Gen. I'm not good at this trying to judge what lane's going to do what, and which lane has the run, which lane has the energy. I'm not really good at seeing that from inside the car. So given the fact that I started up front, and with a pretty solid group of guys, we tried to kind of stick together and kind of stay up there the whole time. It made it a lot easier to not have to worry like, oh god, now I'm stuck back here, I might get in a wreck, like all the things that come with being stuck in traffic like that. So, normally I'm not great at qualifying at these tracks or racing them, but being, near the front at the start, having track position really did help, I think.
And 11 thousandths, all the difference in those final 2 laps. And I'm sure there's very little else you could have done different there. But from your perspective, what was it like through those last moments?
It was awesome. I mean, I never want to count my chickens before they hatch at these kind of tracks, especially. I don't really start getting excited about, where I might be finishing until 50 feet to the checkered flag, because you never know what could happen. But yeah, it was just, once I made it out of turn 4, and the high line and everybody behind us basically, crashed. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to throw it low and hopefully I have enough momentum to make it by. And unfortunately I didn't gain a spot, but it was all I could do really, unless I wanted to just push somebody else, but I didn't, you're going 3 wide for the 500 or whatever you want to call it, 250. You gotta take your chance. So, it didn't turn out, it was still a podium. It was great, but it didn't turn into a win. But, like I said, you can't ask for much more at these kind of races.
Nick Tarbuck, 11 thousandths of a second away from victory here at Daytona, back on the podium to start 2026. If there's anything else you'd like to leave us with, it's all yours until Atlanta.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you for broadcasting, as always. Glad to see you back again. I want to thank the admins for putting on a good race. Thanks to everybody who showed up for putting on a good race as well. That was really fun. Thanks to everybody who watched, mom, dad, my wife, the boys back home, everybody. I'm glad we kept it entertaining for you till the end. And yeah, that's about it, I think.
Nick Tarbuck, number 3 on the lineup today, of finishing 11 thousandths and right up there in a 3-wide drive to the line. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
What a finish it was. Nick ending up 3rd, Ryan Potter P2, and Alex Kim beats them all in a 3-wide drag race to finish off the Jurassic Auto Supply 250. We'll be back next week with continued coverage of the 2026 Integrity Racing League as we go at it from Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia. Until then, thank you for tuning in to coverage of the Jurassic Auto Supply 250, the 2026 running here on the Tuesday Night Tour, the Integrity Racing League. I've been your host, David Kreutz, commentating and producing. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next on Friday night as the Two Fat Guys Sim Promotions David vs. Goliath series continues on at Limaland Motorsports Park, and next Tuesday night as the Integrity Racing League heads again to Atlanta. Thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to Alex Kim on victory at Daytona. We hope you have a fantastic night.
10 weeks. 1 champion. It all comes down to this. Brace yourself. 350 horses on a rampage. The Outlaw Dirt Series Sportsman Modifieds are coming to Shaggy TV. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sportsman Modifieds will roar to life across 10 of iRacing's amazing dirt tracks, starting at Lanier and ending at Oswego. You just gotta be there. Cherry Photography, specializing in iRacing photography, has deals to suit all your needs. With deals like 5 for 10, 10 for 20, 15 for 30, and 20 for 60, you cannot go wrong. You can reach out to Carson Cherry 226 on Discord. That's CARSON Cherry 226.
You feel the ground shake. Your bones begin to rattle. You hold on for dear life. 280 foot-pounds of torque is coming your way. It's the TFG Sport Compact Series, dropping 168 horsepower with 2 front wheels of squealing. Every night's a beatdown.
The TFG Sport Compact Series is coming back to Right Rear Racing on Friday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it live on YouTube with Right Rear Racing TV as the Jettis clash at the historic Nashville Fairgrounds. 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing promotions, where the challenge remains me.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Boundless makes its presence felt. It will not be ignored. We're helping turn ideas into reality with a wealth of building products that take every architectural style to the next level. This is what it's like to imagine, build, and transform anything we want into exactly what we seek. This is what it means to be boundless.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal.
Welcome to the Underdog Racing Podcast, where we talk to NASCAR drivers from all over the great country of America. Each week, we chat about the latest races, share stories from the track, and get to know the drivers behind the wheel. We break down the action, hear from drivers about their experiences, and dive into what drives them to keep racing. Whether you're a longtime NASCAR fan or just curious about the sport, this is the place for you. So tune in to the Underdog Racing Podcast, your inside look at the world of NASCAR. Catch us every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern.